All right, I think I'm back. I don't know what happened. Hold on. Okay. There, and there. All right, I'm back. It looked like I'm back. I don't know exactly what happened. Sorry. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Fame did some stuff and messed some stuff up. No, Fame didn't really do nothing bad. But I'm back. Again, y'all please forgive me. I need to get my I need to get my I need a new computer, and I haven't bought one yet, and so it keeps going out. Uh, to wrap up what Fame was saying, he was saying y'all women, older women, y'all ain't helping these young girls out. And something about him, he was in his drawers on Instagram. He walking around, he was on Instagram, and he didn't have nothing on but his drawers. And people was watching him walk around. And he might have Instagram confused with OnlyFans. But he did say that. I'm not making that up. He did actually say that something happened and he was walking around on Instagram with his drawers on. LaDonna, no, it's not a Wi-Fi issue. It's my OBS, which is, if you know what OBS is, for whatever reason, OBS freezes up and stops working. It's not a Wi-Fi issue. The Wi-Fi is fine. You didn't take advantage of the Black Friday deals. Apple don't have no daggone Black Friday deals. Apple don't go on sale. Not really. Apple don't go on sale. And I already know the computer that I'm going to buy. I really just need to get over there and buy it. But I just, time, things happen. I don't always have time to do stuff. But what was I saying? I was saying that a lot of y'all older women y'all feel, I don't know if it's that y'all feel threatened by the young women or what, but I know sometimes older people do feel threatened by younger people. Like, look, I can only talk about me. Well, that's not true. I can talk about other people too. But speaking of me, and you give me one of the things, right? Apple said either you got it or you don't. That's how they roll. You don't see sales on Apple. But one of the things that I always liked doing when I was at the radio station was training people. I don't get credit for it. I'm not looking for credit for it either, but I don't get credit for it. But I trained a lot of people over there at that radio station. Number of them still there. And a number of them have moved on and they're doing big things in other cities. And like, one of this is not really a story, but we used to have an intern program at the radio station. And one of the things that they used to do with the interns is they would bring the interns in, and the interns would spend a little bit of time in every department. So they'd spend some time over there in promotions. They'd spend some time, maybe with some salespeople. They'd spend some time, at each radio station. Everybody, they all wanted to go to the Wiz. That was their goal. Almost every single one of them. All they ever wanted to do was be on the Wiz. And so they would go spend a little time at the Wiz. And at the time we didn't have the second station. They might go spend some time in I'm drawing a blank on the name of the department, but with the people who do the commercials and stuff like that. And eventually they would all begrudgingly come to spend a little bit of time over at the buzz. Now, in all of these other places, for the most part, they just sat and watched, or they were used as kind of gophers, go get me some coffee or go do this, go do that. But when they brought them over to me, I always felt like, you here. I got you for what, the next 2 weeks or whatever it is. By the time 2 weeks is up, you're gonna know how to do this. Like what I do, run the board, get the commercials, make sure all the technical stuff is fine, because that's the skill that you can take. And if you add your own creativity, your voice to it, you could go over there on the whiz and maybe get an opportunity. And so they would come over, never wanting to actually come over and sit and listen to the buzz, the boring buzz. But man, I would get those kids. I always call them kids, just in my mind. They were just kids. I would get those young people in and I would train them. And by the end of that first week, they knew how to run the board. They knew how to screen calls. They knew how to do everything. So that second week, they would come in and I would just sit back and watch them. Kind of, give them tips on this and give them tips on that and all of that kind of stuff. I just bam, 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 bam. By the time they leave their 2 weeks with me, the ones who really wanted to, who showed some initiative, they would be able to fill in. Even if they didn't get an on-air spotlight, they get to talk. When they do syndicated shows and stuff like that, sometimes they need people there to run the board. When you finish with Emmanuel, you got the skills to go run the board. And it used to trip people out. And I don't understand people who don't have that in them. I don't understand people who feel like they have to protect their spot. My feeling on it was always, if you get so good that they replace me with you, good for you. Good for you. I'll move on and find something else to do. But everybody don't feel that way. And it drives me crazy to see people not do that. I just leave it at that. To see people not do that, to see people so resistant, like almost have animosity, and sometimes have blatant animosity towards people who just trying to learn and they trying to come up. It's always vexed me when I see it. And then I hear people telling people, you should listen to that guy, you should follow that guy's lead, and you should listen to this one, and you should listen to that one. And they don't know that the person that they trying to tell people that they should listen to and pattern themselves after is harboring some serious animosity towards them for wanting to learn from them. Y'all, that's a real thing. It's a real thing. And it ain't always the people that you think. Sometimes it's the happy-go-lucky, jolly people. Oh, you can learn so much from him, but he won't teach me nothing because he think I'm trying to take his spot. You can learn so much if you just watch that person. That person don't want me to learn nothing. That person roots for me to fail for fear that I might take their slot. And I wish we didn't, when I say we, I mean just people. I wish we didn't do that. I wish we didn't do that. But I promise y'all, and yes, y'all know I am thinking about a specific person when I'm saying this, but it's not just that specific person. It's a thing that happens. And I'm not just talking, look, I could rattle off names of people. And if they were honest, not that they're not, if they were honest and they were listening, They could call in right now and say, you know what, when I think about it, you were the person who showed me how to do all of that, who taught me how to do all of that. When I left that radio station, I'm tooting my horn just a little bit. When I left that radio station, I was in a position to help people. And that's what I did. So much so, I probably shouldn't even be sharing this stuff. You know, there was a time when we in the radio business, we we used Nielsen ratings. Not Nielsen, Arbitron, which was purchased by Nielsen, so it's still Nielsen, but we used Arbitron. And I had access to all of the Arbitron ratings. And I learned it's not as easy as it sounds. I learned how to break the ratings down. There's so much information. I don't know what it looked like now, but there was so much information in those ratings that you could use if you knew how to help your show. And there was a person who wasn't very helpful on a different radio station. He wasn't very helpful to his staff. And I know his staff began to come to me and say, Manuel, can you help me understand this and get better? And at first I was like, I never did what you do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do music radio, you know. I don't do all of that. That's my imitation of a music DJ. Like, I don't do all of that. But what I can do, I'm willing to help you with. And I would sit down with those people and we would just dive into their numbers. Like, what are you doing at this time of day? Because right here, your numbers is you killing it. But then here, you fall off so much. What are you doing here? And then what are you transitioning to here? Because whatever you transition into, people ain't feeling it. What you're doing here, people love it. What you're doing here, when you say, all right, now we're going to do this, think wrestling report. All right, we're about to do the wrestling report. People turning away. People don't want to hear the wrestling report. And they would take that information and they would, some of them, no, really all of them, all the ones who would come to me, they were coming to me because they wanted to be better. And they would take that and they'd be like, oh, that was so, how do the numbers look now? And their person didn't want them to see the numbers. How do you not want people to see how they doing? If there's a metric that you use to measure my success, why do you not want me to see how well or how bad I'm doing? So they would come to me and I would give them all the information. And then they would go and they would make changes. And then they would come to me the next month and be like, how did I do? And I'd be like, this is better. This is better. What did you do here? Because now this stuff fell off and blah, blah, blah. And as their numbers got better, you know, they took my access for Arbitron away. When people start telling them, when they start saying, this is like, look, y'all, I'm not making this up, I'm not exaggerating, none of that kind of stuff. But when they start going to their person and saying, you know, and they say, oh, your numbers is better. You know, what do you do? And they be like, Emmanuel, me and Emmanuel went down and we sat down and we went over the numbers. You did what? Why is he sitting down going over numbers with you? Well, you won't go over numbers with him. So that's why when I was asked, like, why are you sitting down with my staff going over their numbers? Like, no, they just came to me and said, what do my numbers look like? And what do you think I can do to be better? If you asked me the same thing, I would tell you. Next thing I know, I don't have no access to the numbers. Like, it was just crazy. There are people who are against helping people. It happens all over the place. It happens all over the place. But no, I never been that person. And like I said, if they knew I was talking about this, and they would call in. When I think about it, man, you helped me a lot. When I think about it, man, you were the one who showed me how. When I think I didn't, nobody would teach me anything until you, because that's what I do, and I do it not just in that environment. My feeling is always, if I have some set of skills, knowledge, ability that you want and or need, man, I will give you all the information that I can think of to give you. And I'll do my best to help you understand it and put it into practice to succeed on whatever level it is that you want to succeed. Now, I can't teach you stuff I don't know. I can't teach you stuff I don't know. If I don't know it, I don't know it. If it's something we can figure out together, let's figure it out together then. I don't know how you do that. I don't know. Let's figure it out. And I'll help you figure it out. That's who I am. That's who I am in every aspect of what I am. Brent says I check the stats like Inez, like Inez, huh? And when the wrestling report is on, the afternoon experiment viewership increases by 3.7%. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh. Thank you for checking that out. I appreciate it. But yeah, no, man, I did. I always wanted to help people. Again, there are people who refuse to do it, who get mad about it. And yeah, I'm thinking about a specific person. I'm thinking about a specific person. And you say, hey, this person should have her own show. And they want to know, what they need a show for. Like, oh. Ain't nobody said they should take your show. But one of these days, you're gonna die. Somebody had to be able to be in your spot. You can't have that spot for eternity. Why would you want to hold people down? Never understood it. Never understood it. Tanika says some people want others to fail in hopes that it helps them. It's not letting me see my chat. Why can't I see my chat? Hold on. Okay, there we go. Now I can see my chat. Some people want others to fail in hopes that it helps them succeed. Yeah, that's true. Lewis wants to know, is Raw going to Netflix and off of USA? Yes, apparently in January. That's going to happen in January. Nate says, I'm here now. Who y'all been slandering? We slandered Joe Biden a little bit earlier. And now I'm slandering women in particular, but people in general who don't want to help the younger generation, who they don't offer them advice and all of that kind of stuff. And a lot of times it's because they feel more threatened by these people. The buzz needs more shows. Let's see, here becomes the difficulty in that. And I don't mind talking about this stuff with the limited knowledge that I have. But the difficulty becomes talk is expensive. To do a talk show is expensive because you have to have a number to, especially a successful, kind of meaningful talk show. You have to have a number of things in place. Like doing this or what you hear on a regular basis on that radio station, it's not good talk. Not just the truth. It's not good talk. I'm saying this and that. It's not good talk. It's talk. It's good. It can be good entertainment, but it's not good talk. It's not good talk because there's no real producer like somebody to kind of mine stories, like, go through the news on a regular basis and say, this is something that we should be discussing. There's nobody to kind of line up guests and, put together a cohesive show. It's just, here's what's going on and call me and give me your thoughts. That's not a good talk show, really. But you need a producer, uh, really to do it right. You need a lot of people. Yeah, because what they call a producer is not a producer. That's why I used to always say I'm the technical producer. Because my job is all the technical stuff. But I'm not out there booking guests. And you need more than one person to be booking guests, more than one person to be deciding, what stories and to be going over them with whomever the host is and maybe even the technical producer. Like as a team, you need the 3, 4, 5, 6 of y'all to get together and have a framework for a show and that's 5, 6 people that you have to pay. So it becomes expensive. And my personal feeling, my personal feeling is that Radio One has kind of given up on the buzz. The buzz is what it is, which is to a large degree the one particular main host. And that's that. I was actually told some years ago, uh, I was told some years ago, y'all, I'll be wrestling with whether or not to share some information with y'all because I'm not trying to throw people under the bus. Uh, but I'm really trying to be honest so that y'all have an understanding of what it is that y'all hearing and why y'all hearing it that way. But I was told some years ago when I was made the kind of assistant program director, because there was no program director, and they wanted me to be the program director but not pay me program director money. That's a whole different story. So I was running the station, and I was told by one of the very higher ups in um, programming that, look, I'm not going to say exactly what they said because it sounded so bad that I just don't even want to say it out loud. But the gist of what I was told was, we got Lincoln Ware on this station. He has the Weiler account, and that's really all that's important to us. Everything else, we don't care about. We care about keeping Lincoln Ware because he has the Weiler account. And for whatever reason, the people over at Weiler likes Lincoln Ware, so they keep advertising with us. Well, they don't have that anymore, but that's not the point. The point is, I think they gave up on the station a long time ago. They gave up on the station a long time ago. Nat says Lincoln with the relationships. Yeah, yeah. He's a guy that he's one of those people, because I'm the opposite of it. You meet him and you feel like y'all friends and like y'all have known each other forever. And all he really did was say hi. But it was something about him that you feel like I just met a friend. And that goes a long way. Again, I'm the exact opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? You meet me like hi, like, "Ugh, he was standoffish." Like the one guy who's still mad at me from 20 years ago because apparently I was at a remote and I didn't say hi or something like that. You meet me and I say hi, and it's like, oh, he was standoffish, whatever. You know, I'm the opposite of Lincoln. But that was, and like I said, this was years. I mean, this was, I've been gone from the station for years. And so this was years before I was gone from the station when I was told this. So yeah, I think they done gave up on the station. And I don't know what they'll do when the time comes. I really don't. Tanika says, yeah, it took me a while to warm up to you. It be that way. I don't, I'm just who I am. Sierra says, Micro Center charges you more and Lincolnware gets free stuff. Yeah, it's kind of that whole thing. It's kind of that whole thing. So all of that to say, when you say they need more shows, I don't think they're gonna invest more money in more shows. I don't think they're gonna do that. They don't want to invest the little money. And when I say little money, like somebody is making a whole lot of money. Everybody else is making a little bit of money. Like I think there's only one full-time employee there, meaning at the Buzz, that particular radio station. I think there's only one full-time employee because they just don't want to spend that money. And if you part-time, you don't get health insurance, you don't get paid days off and all of that kind of stuff. They don't want to spend that money. So, I mean, that's why you end up with, what you have. And it's more a matter of what's the return on the investment. And some of that is, some of that is y'all fault. I'm just being honest. Y'all done created a situation. Look, for years, the biggest problem that the Buzz had, in my opinion, was the Buzz's black audience. Constantly trying to get the Buzz taken off the air. And you think about this, you are a corporation, and this is what you do. And this kind of expensive, hold on, Edward said, never understood a show not depending on ratings. Okay, hold on, I'll explain that first. The reason that they don't depend on ratings is because they don't subscribe to the ratings. There was a time when they subscribed to the ratings. All ratings really do is to, I'm super oversimplifying this. But what ratings do is ratings say to advertisers, they got people listening, and this is how many. At this time, they got this many people listening. At this time, they got this many people listening. And so then you can say, based on how many people we got listening, we're going to charge you this much money for a commercial. That's really the gist of what ratings are. So if I can say, and I'm going to just use simple numbers, I got 1,000 people listening. I can go to Johnny's pawn shop and say, you want to buy some advertising from me? I got 1,000 potential customers for you. And then Johnny can say, yeah, but they got 5,000. And I can say, okay, they're going to charge you $100 for a spot. I'm going to only charge you $20 for a spot. And then I hope Johnny like, well, okay, I'll spend $20 to get access to your 1,000 people. That's all rate. That's really what ratings are for. Now, when you no longer subscribe to the ratings, they don't rate you. So now I got to go to Johnny and say, Johnny, I got a station and I got people who listen. You just kind of got to take my word for it that there are people who listen. And I want to charge you $20 to get access to those people. And Johnny, like, how do I know people listening? And best I can do is say, look at the response of the people. Look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to show up at your spot. Just buy this for $20. And we're going to show up. And you're going to see how many people show up with us. And they might tell you they got 5,000. But I bet if they come here, as many people ain't going to show up as show up when I come here. And then Johnny said, all right, here's your $20. Show up at the spot. And then I show up at the spot and 200 people show up. And Johnny sells some merchandise. Now Johnny like, okay, I want access to that audience. So it's not dependent on ratings anymore because I don't have ratings. I don't have a number to say this is how many people listen. I have to show you. I have to show up somewhere and you see how many people show up. And you like, I want them people at my spot. Well, you got to buy some advertising. So that's how your show is not dependent upon ratings. And again, I don't know if they still don't subscribe, but when I left, that particular radio station did not subscribe to the ratings, which means they don't get a number to go and sell. They don't get a number to say, Johnny, this is how many people I got listening. That's all that means. So when people, oh, you're just doing it for ratings. I don't get ratings. I don't subscribe to the ratings. They don't tell me how many people are listening. So everybody can shut it off. Don't make a difference because I don't have any numbers to show good or bad. So I don't do anything for ratings. I used to say that when I was there, when I was doing my show. Because by the time I started doing my show, well, that's not true. I did my talk show for a little while and got ratings. But by the time I really kind of got my groove, they had unsubscribed to the ratings. So you for ratings, I don't care about ratings because I don't get ratings. But let me go back to how I think it's y'all fault that Radio One don't really care about the buzz. Nat, I'll answer that, but let me finish scolding some of y'all. If you own a company, a corporation, let's say you own McDonald's, right? And you got McDonald's all over the place. But you got this one McDonald's that customers call in and complain about all the time. They just call and complain about it. You're like, what are they doing at that McDonald's? And then so you go to that McDonald's and you look and you like, they cooking the burgers right. They frying the fries right. They doing everything they supposed to do. Customer service is cool. People get their orders when they supposed to get them. But people are still calling the corporate office complaining. You might be like, you know what? This is more trouble than it's worth. That's okay. We'll just shut that McDonald's down. They don't complain about the McDonald's up the street, and they really have problems. They don't cook the burgers right. They don't do fries right, but they don't get as many complaints as they do, and they doing stuff the way they supposed to be doing it. That's what happened with the buzz. Every time somebody said the slightest thing that somebody got offended by, yeah, I think a lot of people thought that I was making stuff up when I used to be like people calling corporate. People call corporate on a consistent basis. He said he didn't like dark-skinned women. What kind of stuff is that? They need to be taken off the air. What if he just don't like dark-skinned women? The conversation is about preference. Why can't he talk about that? He talking about Barack Obama, and Barack Obama should do this, and Barack Obama should do that. He need to be taken off the air. Every little thing that was said that somebody disagreed with, instead of just disagreeing, people wanted it shut down, shut it down, get him off the air, shut it down. Now, Cunningham, he can tell you he gonna spank your big black ass. He literally said that to someone. Actually, I don't think it was Cunningham who said it. It was another group of guys on that radio station who told a particular caller, I will bend you over and spank your big black ass. That is as verbatim as I can remember it. I remember bend you over, spank big black ass. Over on the buzz, somebody said, it really any minor thing. And that same person who was comfortable with the white guys telling them, I will bend you over and spank your big black ass, was calling corporate saying this person needs to be taken off the air because they said Barack Obama should be doing something specifically for black people. How we gonna achieve as a people if our own people is trying to tear us down? He need to be taken off the air. I'm giving y'all 100% legit thing that happened. Now, granted, it's anecdotal because it's from one person, one specific person. And if she's listening, she know who she is. But it's kind of capsulizes what has happened at that radio station through the years. Everybody else on talk radio can say whatever it is that they want to say. But let the black people say something. Corporate is getting called. People getting called into offices. Corporate is trying to force people to apologize to people for saying what they thought and what they believed. But that guy can tell you he'll spank your big black ass and you just you so funny. Tropicana. Her name started with a Y and ended with a Vaughn. Or some people say her name started with a lady and ended with a C. Constantly calling corporate to try to get people fired, but laughing when they told you they'd spank your big black ass. And anybody who tells you that didn't happen, they're a damn lie. And then, well, why would they give up on the buzz? Who wants to deal with every time you say something? It's drama, somebody calling corporate. Just forget it. Just forget it. And Tanika says, but she still calls in. It don't matter. That it's because it's not even real. It's just a way to lash out. And so instead of just, how like I listen to 700 and Cunningham say stuff and I'll be like, man, this dude crazy. That's some racist stuff. That's some racist stuff. And either keep listening and keep getting mad or turn the station. People didn't do that with the buzz. People didn't listen and say, oh, that's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, let me see what else he gonna say. No, it was, oh, that's crazy. Let me call corporate and complain. I don't know why there was a difference, but there was a difference. And I don't know if it was the same difference on all of the stations. I don't know if they did it to the Wiz and to OSL. I don't know if they did it to all of the stations, but I know they did it to the Buzz because I got called in a lot of meetings about stuff. And I'd be like, they complained about that? That? Like, I was going easy. Why did they complain about that? So all of this stemmed from somebody saying the Buzz need more shows. They're much more expensive and it's much more headache. And people don't be wanting to pay. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't want to pay for advertising. Everybody want to get on and slide their stuff in. Well, this is how much a commercial costs. That's too much money. I ain't got that kind of money. That's expensive. And it might be expensive, but go try to advertise somewhere else. But you want your product out there. You want people to know you exist. And some of this was before, like, you know what I'm saying, real on air advertisement and stuff. Tier says, see here, I was thinking I wanted a little show. No, because if you buy a show, there's benefit to it. That becomes advertising. That becomes advertising. You buy a little show, as you call it. You buy a little show, and you know what I'm saying, you increase your presence. People know you exist. And you know, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish or achieve, you know, you're working towards that. And you're not necessarily governed by Radio One. Like when they start calling corporate, they'll be like, well, that's a different show. Like that's not our people. They buy that show. That's a commercial. So if you got a problem with what they said, call them. But you an employee, and you said something that Miss Verna didn't agree with. Miss Verna is on the call on the phone calling corporate to tell on your ass to get you fired. Because Miss Verna don't play that with her black radio, not a white radio. Ain't nobody calling iHeart to complain about what Cunningham said. And if they did, because this was always my beef with Radio One, if I call iHeart to complain about something Cunningham said, they like, okay, Ann. Yeah, but he said, and they like, you don't agree with him? No, I don't agree with him. That's racist. Maybe you should call him and tell him you think that's racist. Guaranteed they not calling Cunningham into the office talking about, why did you say this? You're going to have to apologize. You can't say that no more. We suspended you for 2 weeks. You can't go on the air and say. That's not happening. They got the freedom to be creative and say what they want to say. And sometimes it work. Sometimes it don't. But they got the freedom, the creative freedom to do it. All of that to say, you're probably not gonna see no new shows pop up. Sierra says, did you ever get suspended? Heck yeah, I got suspended. I got suspended. Yes, I got suspended. I got pulled off the air a number of times, called into the office, had conversations and all of that kind of stuff on a number of occasions. It get tiring. And I could easily see you getting to the point of saying, you know what? I'm gonna just play it safe. Trop says, hey, Trop, how you doing? I know I said I was going to call you. I keep meaning to call you. I'm going to call you one of these days. Their management also understands the culture of what they're selling. So they have a different liberty to be themselves. That is very important. People don't understand it. And I'm trying to help people understand because they don't understand none of this stuff. Like if you understand, this is what this is. Again, let me just use the buzz. And how about I just use me when I was on the bus? Okay. If y'all been listening for 20 whatever years, the 20 whatever years that I was on the bus, you kind of have an idea of who Emmanuel Livingston is. And, Emmanuel never meant no harm to nobody, but Emmanuel got to call it like he see it. And that is those few people who appreciate the voice that Emmanuel Livingston has, they appreciate that. But now if you got somebody, number one, you got somebody selling it who don't understand who Emmanuel is. Like they think he's just some crazy, offensive, racist guy. Number one, they're not going to be excited to sell what it is anyway. Like, I don't want to sell this crazy, offensive, racist guy. I don't want to sell that. If management also looks at it like, do you have to? Oh, I keep going back to this because this was an actual thing that happened. And this was, in my mind, this kind of, I'm going to use the word probably wrong, encapsulated how they felt about me. When Sherrod Brown, the senator, was to come on the air and do an interview, and I was called into an office and said, will you be nice to him? And I said, I'll be professional. No, we need you to be nice. I'll be professional. Can you promise that you'll be nice? I promise that I'll be professional. And then they pulled the interview from me and gave it to somebody else. That's, again, another 100% honest thing that happened. And if somebody tell you it didn't, they're a damn lie. So if your management is looking at you and you got an interview scheduled with a senator and your management is saying, oh, I don't trust this guy to do this interview, I mean, they've been listening to you, or maybe not listening to you, but whatever their perception is of you, it's not positive. So then when you call and complain to that manager who already thinks this guy is not positive, anything negative you say, they believe it. He probably did say that, yeah. And he probably meant it just like that. I'm not saying that that's what they said to people, but that's what they think and feel about you, which then puts me in a position where now what? I have to be overly nice. Let me show my teeth. Let me smile and grin. Shuck and jive, buck dance a little, What do you want? What do you want me to be? But if your management don't believe in you, how can I be free to be me when y'all don't believe in who I am? The salespeople don't believe in who I am, so they won't sell it. And even when people call in and specifically say, I want to buy some time on that show. This is another thing that happened, and anybody who tell you it didn't, they're a damn lie. I want to buy some time on that show. And the salesperson says, no, you really want to buy some time on this show. trust me, this show is going to be better for you. No, I want that show. That's the show I want to buy time on. How about if we buy some time on this show and I'll schedule some spots in that show? That's just the truth. And look, I'll take the blame of being me because I'm sure I could work my personality maybe a little more and a little better and be more, kiki grin and all of that kind of stuff and go play pickleball with white ladies and all of that kind of stuff. I imagine I could do that, but that's not me. And it's not what I was going to do. So I'm not even complaining. Like, I'm just trying to explain to y'all that some of this stuff happens. There's a lot of stuff that go on behind the scenes. They need a new show. Not gonna happen. A lot of stuff happened to get to the company to the point where I believe, and I'm just saying this is what I believe. I'm not there. I don't have anything to prove that they've given up on that station. I don't have anything to prove that. But they gave up on that station years ago. Years ago. And like I said, then you mix that with somebody who's so protective of their position. They don't want to teach nobody nothing. They don't want to mentor nobody. They don't want to bring nobody along. Everybody that, come in the door is competition, if they're in their realm. It's competition. I know you want my job. No, don't nobody want your job. But you can help a nigga figure some shit out. I'm not a threat to you. So I mean, really, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. So yeah, you probably won't. I can't say with 100% certainty, but there's probably not gonna be another show, even of my girl, that should have a show. She should have a show. I'm still kind of mad about that. She should have a show. She should probably be on from 4 to 7, Monday through Friday. But that's too threatening for some people. Because that's too close to 10 to 1. Uh, so man, listen, you saying you were the bigger threat, so they really tried to COVID on you, can't even touch the elevator. No, I'm actually saying I was no threat because I didn't want nobody's spot. I didn't want nobody's spot. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, this is me. This is me. This is me, kind of in a nutshell. And I'm not gonna ask nobody to co-sign, but if somebody feels so inclined, they can tell you I'm not lying. I'm a behind the scenes guy. I like being behind the scenes. And if I can help you behind the scenes, man, I'm happy. And I feel like if I help you behind the scenes and you succeed, I feel like I succeeded, even though I'm not even, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my thing. So, like I said earlier, yeah, if you come to me and you say, hey, you got any ideas on this? Yeah, I do. Maybe try this. Maybe try this. Can we go over the numbers? Sure, let's go over the numbers and let's see if we can figure something out. And maybe, you know what I'm saying, your numbers will get better. And then if you come back like, oh, my numbers got better, I'm like, yes. Damn, nigga, you ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you won't get the bonus. You know, what are you so happy about? I'm happy because you succeeding. You're succeeding, and that's the goal. That's why I'm happy. I'm behind the scenes. I don't want to be the guy. I want to be the guy that makes you or that helps you be the guy. I get a rush out of that. I don't know why. It's weird. But I get a rush out of that. So, no, I was no threat to anybody. Again, I didn't even do a show. I was there for over 2 decades. I was offered a show, I would say starting year number 3, at least 3, 4 times a year. Like, you sure you don't want to do a show? So and so leaving. We could put a spot. We could put you on here. You could do this. Why don't you just do a weekend show? You could do this. You could do that. I helped a few shows start, and then bowed out because I that was never my desire to be an on-air personality. I always knew I could, but it wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what I wanted. I wanted everybody to succeed. I wanted to be a part of the team. Janice says, one who wants their voice to be heard far and wide must learn to tailor their words while not compromising their integrity until they gain more influence. Unfortunately, when you don't own it, you can't do whatever you choose or you must leave. Again, I wasn't forced to leave because of that. I had just ignored all of that. I made up my mind. I'm going to be me. They going to make me do a show. I'm going to be me. And if they want me off, they going to have to put me off. And they going to have whatever reason that they want because I'm going to just be here and be me. Remember, I wasn't fired because of the complaints from corporate, because of lack of ability to do my job, because my ratings was low, which again, at the time we wasn't getting ratings, because I wasn't moving the needle, or any of that kind of stuff. I was fired because I wouldn't take a vaccine. Uh, Thank you, Tropicana. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for that comment. Um, let's see. Uh, Nat says, I loved how you went back and forth with the ladies Sister Speak, do a podcast with Raven or Tierra. I enjoyed Sister Speak so much. Hold on, I'm gonna read uh Tropicana's comments. Number one, because I respect Tropicana greatly, and just because. Emmanuel was definitely the threat. I was not a threat. He was ushering the station into a digital and high functioning professional direction. I was trying. He was also training, teaching, and mentoring young talent. I was trying. He was the last sounding board and manager in the building that took time to develop new and sharpen professional talents. Most times just by showing up and moving in excellence. He was a threat to anyone who didn't want the talent in the building to understand their reach and value. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. And that was my goal. That was my goal. Again, I just wanted to see everybody win. And she said, and that was across the building, not only on the bus. Thank you so much. Yeah, and you're also still a menace. I say, can't you sue them? Somebody told me I could, but why? I don't want to sue nobody. I'm not there. I'm happy. I'm not there. They seem to be happy. If everybody happy, there's no reason to be trying to sue nobody or any of that kind of stuff. Just it was time to move on anyway. It was time to move on anyway. And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, when you I don't want to say stagnant. I'm not sure that I was stagnant, but sometimes when it's time to move on and you don't see it's time to move on, and this is my spiritual belief coming out, God got a way of moving you along. God got a way of saying, okay, go. Your time is up here. Go. So I feel like that was probably what happened. When I tell you I don't have any ill feelings towards anybody there, you might not believe that, but it's true. I don't have any ill feelings towards anybody there. And if somebody called me right now and said, Emmanuel, I'm trying to do this thing and I don't know what to do. I don't know if I can. I would give them the best advice that I could to help them succeed. So that is me. That is me. And I've never wanted to be the front man of the band, even though I was the front man of the band. And I knew I could be. I'm talking about the literal band that I was in. I didn't necessarily want to be the front man. Let me do the background vocals. Let me say ooh, ooh, ooh in the background. You know what I'm saying? Make the lead singer look good. I'm happy. I don't want to be out on the stage. Let me be the stage manager, move people in and move people out the way they're supposed to move in and out and get everything going and smooth. And the show went great and everybody's like, oh, that was awesome. And like, yes. So that's just, I'm for real. That's who I am. That's who I am. But you're welcome, Sierra. She said, thank you for answering my question. An hour and 15 minutes later, feel like. Let me see. Is there anything else? No, you never can't be another front man again of any band. I don't know what that means, twin. I don't know what that means. Tanika says, so why do you want me to teach you runs then? Because I want to sing better. I want to know how to do it. I want to be better. You don't need to be the front man of a band. Sometimes I just want to sit down and sing to Mrs. Livingston. And I want her to be like, ooh. Ooh, that was good. You know what I'm saying? I just, so yeah. Brent says, what is a good shipping address for the lemon pound cake? I'll let you know. I'll shoot you a message. In other words, Emmanuel isn't like Diana Ross pushing the other singers to the back. No. No. Tanika says background vocals don't do runs. Yeah, they do. I'm going to show you some examples. I never really paid attention to that. I'm the guy who pays attention to when I'm listening to a song. I'm listening to the background vocals more than the lead vocals, or just as much as. But I think everybody do that. Yo Underwood says, Emmanuel, unblock Ross. He is not blocked. He is not blocked. Raven, got a celebrity in the house. Raven says, my show is in no way attached to Lincoln's. I need that to be made crystal clear. I won't pretend to know what my future holds after he makes his departure, but my show won't die off the strength of Lincoln retiring. I named my show myself. If need be, I can change it whenever I feel like it. Hope that clears some stuff up for y'all. She should be on from 4 to 7, Monday through Friday. Telling you, 4 to 7, Monday through Friday, she should be on. But I thought that when I left, that was my suggestion when I left there. I gave him a whole rundown. This is what the station should look like. They ignored me. They ignored me. Brent says, you better not be doing background vocals with your head tilted back and your tongue sticking out. I do have that issue, not the tongue sticking out, but I do kind of tilt my head back a little bit when I sing. I was told I shouldn't do that. Nakia says, I don't think they listened. They didn't. They ignored me. They ignored me. Because I would have had Lincoln, Sharpton, Raven. There was somebody else that I suggested, and then do replays. Daryl says, unfortunately, once Lingenware retires, I think the buzz would go away. It would be a terrible travesty if that was the case. I personally don't think he's ever going to retire. And I'm not saying that to be funny or to be mean. And I'm not sure that I would retire if I were sitting in his position. I think he's going to be either thrown out or he's going to pass away. I think those are the two ways that he leaves that radio station. And I say that saying, and I mean this, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be, he said at the end of 2025. Yeah, he also said when Barack Obama leaves office. And then he also said, he done said 100 times he gonna leave at some point. But this is my take on it. And I told him this, so I'm not saying anything that I haven't said to him personally. I try not to do that. Like, I'm not gonna get on here, where he may or may not be listening and say some stuff. And then, I can't believe that. No, everything I'm saying, he might be saying, I can't believe he would tell everybody that he said that. But it ain't no shock. Nothing that I'm saying is a shock to anyone because I say what I say. You were 83, 84 years old, making well into the 6 figures for 3, maybe 4 hours of work a day, some of which you don't even have to come home. You get all of the benefits. You know what I'm saying? You getting invited to this. LaDonna, I don't think it have anything to do with it keeping him active. I think it's an ego thing, and ain't nothing wrong with it. But my thing was, when you retire, what job you gonna get that you work 3 hours a day, making well into the 6 figures? You got 8-9 weeks of vacation, so you get to do whatever you want to do, go wherever you want to go. If you want to take 2 weeks off, just take 2 weeks off. If you want to, if you want to take the missus to France for 2 weeks, just take the missus to France for 2 weeks. And you're not making 150, 200 sold $220,000 a year saying, "Welcome to Walmart. You want a cart? Welcome to Walmart. Can I see your receipt before you leave?" You're not making that kind of money doing that stuff. And you won't be Lincoln Ware in this sense. Why would the mayor call Lincoln Ware if Lincoln Ware don't have a platform? Why would he be chatting it up with the mayor? The mayor's not going to call him. You're not getting free tickets to this and free tickets to that and free gifts from the Reds and free gifts from the this if you don't have that platform. You're not Lincoln Ware. You're just Lincoln Ware. That's not a shot. That's just the truth of the matter. When you are no longer in the limelight, you're no longer in the limelight, and people don't treat you as if you're in the limelight because a lot of those relationships are transactional. I'm your friend as the mayor because I know you're going to provide a little bit of cover for me. And, this and that, all of that stuff is real stuff. And if you cease to be that person with that platform and that reach, and now you're not making that money, what are you gonna do? You just gonna sit at home and listen to the radio? Because you know you're gonna listen to the radio. And you're gonna want to say whatever it is that you're gonna say. It's not a matter, oh, I don't deal with it anymore. No, that's not gonna be the case. There's no reason for you to retire. You're gonna retire, and what, 2 years later, 3 years later, you're gonna be thinking, oh, how do I get back in? How do I get back in? You're gonna be tired of sitting around the house listening to the missus and rubbing the dog. And you're gonna want to get up and do something, even at 85. You're gonna want to get up and do something. And again, welcome to Walmart. It ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not hating on welcome to Walmart, but you're not making $220,000 a year saying welcome to Walmart 3 hours a day. And they expect you to be there every day when you scheduled to be there. You can't just take 2 weeks off and do nothing. I wouldn't go nowhere. I wouldn't go nowhere. I would be sitting in that seat until the day that it stop pumping, and just be that radio legend for the rest of my life. There's no part of me that believes in 2025 he going nowhere. He gonna be a radio legend, a Cincinnati radio legend for the rest of his life. And that's not hate, because I respect that. He earned it. You put in what, 60 years on air? You earned that. So yeah, no, I don't believe he doing nothing. When he told me what, 10, 15 years ago, oh, I'm retiring. You ain't retiring. I gave him that exact same speech. You ain't doing nothing. You're gonna be here. Not what? Not. Okay, you still there. 84 years old, still good. Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. Ask your retired friends. How many of them make 100 or $220,000 a year for 3 hours work? And how many of them would do it? Would go back to work for 3 hours a day and make $220,000 a year, and then decide whether or not you retire? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I'm telling you, I wouldn't. You tell me right now, Emmanuel, we're gonna pay you $220,000. All you got to do is 3 hours a day. Some days, when you want to take off, just take off. When you don't until you die. I'm taking the 220,000. That's an easy one. CK, hey, what's up? And CK, it would be different if you felt like, oh, this is hard work. Like maybe if you at the factory, you know what I'm saying, and your back hurt, you know what I'm saying? Then you'll be like, okay, I'm not gonna do it. But you go to do something that you would do for free every day. Oh, I'm sorry. And they probably can't. I had to switch over from my one system. All right. Sorry about that, CK. Hey, hey. All right, y'all should be able to hear me now. Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me? Give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me. Oh, oh boy. I don't know what happened. I know what happened. But anyway, okay, here's what I was saying. CK was saying that Jay Leno retired before he was ready to retire. And then he came back and tried to take Conan O'Brien's spot and all of that kind of stuff. When you're doing what you love, again, what you would do for free, just do it. Just keep doing that. And especially you getting paid handsomely, I would keep doing it. I would do it until the wheels fell off. Till they said you out of here. So, yeah, I would definitely not leave. Now, the only way I say he might, some pushing out might happen, because that Weiler account was a big deal. That Weiler account was a big deal. Remember, I told y'all some years ago, I was told that Weiler account was a huge deal. So, not having that Weiler account, when contracts are up and, then it might be like, hey, your contract is up and you getting a whole lot of money, so maybe we're going to pay you a whole lot less, or you can, leave. Your option, if you want to stay, then, what I'm saying, we'll pay you minimum wage and you can stay. But, and in that case, there might be some leaving going on. But it won't be, I just want to leave. It'll be, I'm not going to work for minimum wage. I can go and say, welcome to Walmart for that. So those are the two options that's going to happen. It's not just going to be no voluntary, you know what, I don't want this $200 and something thousand a year no more. I'm going home. That's not going to be the case. That's not going to be the case. At least it wouldn't be the case with me. Meyer says, why did the Buzz lose the Weiler account? I have no idea. I have zero idea. I don't know. I'm not there. It was my understanding that, Weiler don't advertise there no more. So, that particular Weiler account was gone. Carolyn says, what about the Queen City Sausage account? I don't know why they don't have the Queen City Sausage account. I know why they lost it at one point, but they got it back after that. That's because I was there when that happened. Key.
Hey, what's going on, Emmanuel? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, is your phone line fixed too?
I don't know. Can y'all hear Key?
Oh my goodness, Emmanuel, what's going on? You pulling the all-nighter, huh?
No, I'm about to get off of here.
Okay, I'm like, Dad, what's going on? I was afraid to call. I'm like, Dad, is the audio gonna go out once I call?
No, it looked like everything is fine.
Okay, can they hear me? I don't see nobody saying nothing.
No, I don't. Nobody said that they could, but I think they can.
Okay, I see a thumbs up.
Okay, which means they can hear you.
Okay, all right. I was just calling to say, hey, see what you up to. Like I said, I kind of hesitated because I'm like, dang, this whole equipment gonna go out now. Yeah. So what you up to? Hey, my old Shane.
Nothing. When I finish here, I got some videos to edit and post.
Hey,
not my own videos. I do videos for. I have a couple of organizations that I do videos for, and so I have to edit and post their videos, and then I got some screen printing to do. But other than that, nothing. I'll be chilling.
Oh, okay. You ain't delivering no hoodies or nothing like that?
No, I'm not delivering any hoodies.
Okay, well, I've been giving free advertising with mine. Just letting you know. Hey, Brent.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know. We can do what we can do when we can do it. But I ain't want to just kind of say, hey, say hey everybody in the chat.
Key, I appreciate your
Okay.
call and your support.
Okay. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Okay. Bye.
All right, can y'all hear me now? Hey, hey, yeah, y'all should be able to hear me now. Y'all should be able to hear me now. Yeah, yeah. I, it's something with it's the setting with the phone. I know what it is. It's, anyway, I know why they lost the Queen City account the first time. And anybody who tell you anything different, they telling a damn lie. Okay. First time the Queen City account was lost. I want to assign blame, but I don't really want to assign blame because a lot of people get the blame for it. You could blame me, even though you be flawed in blaming me. But I'll tell you, the Queen City account was lost the first time because Queen City Sausage got a lot of complaints about me. They got a lot of complaints about me that were not founded on truth. But the reason that it happened, and I know I done told y'all this story. This is at a time when a certain somebody, I'm not going to say no names, but a certain somebody was upset with me and thought that I wanted to take the position. Okay? And they made up in their mind that they was going to get me fired. And so they reached out to some of their racist white friends and told their racist white friends and some of their stupid black friends to call the radio station, to flood the radio station with complaints about me, to flood corporate with complaints about me, and to make complaints to advertisers about me. A person working at the radio station told their friends to do this, thinking that it would get me fired. It backfired. They had an account that these people called and complained about me and said I wouldn't put white people on the air. I would answer the phone, and when I realized that the caller was white, I would say, "We don't let pink people on the air," and hang up on them. And there was a number of white people who called this particular advertiser, Queen City Sausage, and told them that. They called other advertisers and told them too. But Queen City Sausage called radio station, and then they acted on it, and they canceled their account. And then that hit this particular person in his own pocketbook, because some of these accounts, if I said I want to advertise with the radio station, and I want Raven Monday to be the spokesperson, I can request that. Now I have to pay Raven Monday extra money, which I would gladly do because it's Raven Monday. I would have to pay her extra money to be the spokesperson. but she becomes the spokesperson for the afternoon experiment advertising on the radio station. Then when I cancel, guess what? She don't get that money no more because I'm not advertising anymore. Well, that happened. Again, I was called into the office and I was told all of this. I didn't deduce. I was told this is what Queen City Sausage said is happening. They don't appreciate it. They don't want to work with us. They don't want to advertise with us no more because of this. There was a meeting in the office, and I thought it was hilarious. Because, number one, my thing was, black people don't call white people pink people. Black Lion does that. I don't know any other black people who call white people pink people. I just don't. So that was 100% made up. And, a whole lot of other things were made up. But that's why. Because there was, and it wasn't just one. It wasn't just Chuck. Because it was the caller named Chuck is the one who was reached out to and asked to say all of this fake stuff about me. The caller named Chuck and the caller named Donnie. Yeah, Donnie, the coach. The one that always, Donnie. Kofer. I don't mind calling names. I tell the truth. They were reached out to. And those were two of the people who specifically were asked to and given a phone number. This is the number to call to complain about him. And that's what happened to Queen City Sausage the first time. They canceled on the strength of that. And in this meeting, which was really heated, and I spent a lot of time in the meeting laughing, because my thing was, I'm not getting fired, and somebody lost some money. So that's that whole thing where they say, when you dig one ditch, you better dig two, because the ditch you digging might be for you. Yeah. And I was like, you can't just let a mad dog go running and think that you can direct a mad dog. No, it's a mad dog. And if you get in the way, that mad dog gonna get you too. You let a mad dog off the leash, and now the mad dog is attacking your ass. And I thought it was hilarious. I was the only person in that meeting who thought it was funny. I don't understand how they didn't see the humor and irony. But I was laughing like crazy. I thought it was hilarious. And then somebody was basically told, don't call the station anymore. That's why you don't hear from Chuck anymore on the radio station. I mean, they may have unbanned him now, but at that point, they told him, don't call anymore. So, yeah, that's what happened. And anybody who tell you anything different is telling a damn lie. I just tell y'all the truth about this stuff. How did we get on this? Because this was not one of my topics. This was in no way, shape, or form one of my topics. I was talking about when it came up, how I love everybody over there at that radio station, at the Buzz. And I do. Everybody that I know that's there, I don't, and some of the people who I love dearly are no longer there. But, yeah, some of them people, Brent says, so they have actually banned a white collar. Corporate, specifically. I don't know if they banned him, to his face, but they did request that he not call anymore. And somebody was mad about that too. Until they was told, hey, you want your money to end up back right, then it is what it is. Okay, as long as my money. All right then. Oh, that was a heck of a time. I love everybody there. I do, my OSHA. Everybody. I just tell the truth. I'm sure they got stories that they could tell about me. I'm not the most easy-going, easy to get along with guy in the world. I can be difficult. I'm sure people got stories about me. People got stories about me. Ask Terrence. I saw Terrence on here. Terrence could tell you. Terrence could tell you some bad stories about me. I saw Raven on here. She could tell you some bad stories about me. I don't know if Tropicana's still here. I bet she could tell you some bad stories about me. I'm not flawless in all of this. I'm not flawless. Vernon says, seems like corporate would have more important things to do than ban individual callers from a certain market. That should be a local management decision. You would think so. But again, keep in mind, keep in mind that it wasn't just one person who was. If I said to you, Vernon, I want you to get so and so fired, right? And then you, Vernon, recruited all of your friends, and basically y'all flooded this corporate office with calls. Because it wasn't just one person doing the calling. They had recruited people on their behalf. White people specifically, it was my understanding, on their behalf. But I also told y'all, remember earlier, I told y'all, okay. Remember earlier I told y'all that it was partially y'all fault? Because every time somebody say something, y'all calling corporate complaining. And if y'all keep calling corporate complaining and then they start getting flooded with calls, corporate got to say, hey, we putting a stop to all of this. So while I agree, you would think local would be like, but they wasn't just calling local. They were flooding corporate headquarters with calls about me being a racist. Me? A racist? Oh, that's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. Was Shelly one of the white people? I don't know. I don't know. But apparently there were a number of people calling a lot of different people, companies, and all of that kind of stuff. There was a actual movement. I inspired a movement. There was an actual movement to get me fired. The linchpin was the pink people thing. It just it failed. It's like when you ever hear like white people trying to lie about somebody black doing something racist to them, and they're like, he said, I don't like you, Whitey. And you're like, all right, you making stuff up. No, that's what he said. He said, I don't like you, Whitey. And it's like, black people don't call white people whitey like that. It's just not something that we say. Look at that whitey over there. Like, it's just not something that we say. So when a white person says to me, and it's happened on the air, white people have called me to try to make a point that black people did something racist, and they'd be like, he said there's that whitey. And I'll be like, you lying. Are you gonna tell me I'm lying? I know what I was. No, because I know black people don't say that. So I think the whole pink people thing is, the little string. You pull on that little string and the whole thing unravel. I think that was it. Because again, you just know, like, is that a thing? You know what I'm saying? That's for real. That was what they asked me from corporate. Like, is that a thing? I was like, no. We do have one caller who calls white people pink people, but no, that's not a thing. It's not a Cincinnati thing. It's not a thing. It's not. Okay, we were just checking. And then the other thing they asked me was, and do you also go by Nate? No. Do you know a Nate? Yes, I have a brother named Nate. Yeah, because when this one guy calls, he always he starts talking about you, but then he starts talking about Nate. Nate said this and Nate said that. And we didn't know who Nate was. And I had to explain to him. Nate is my brother. He used to have a show on the Buzz many years ago. And he rubbed some white people the wrong way. So, like, oh, okay, now that makes so much sense. Okay, just trying to make sense of all of this stuff. Like, yeah, yeah. So, but he didn't even have Sierra. He didn't even have nothing to do with it. It just, you know what I'm saying? Somebody, you so mad at somebody, and you talking about something, but then you know, and and Nate said this and Nate said that. And they like, who is Nate? Who is Nate? Who is he talking about now? Maybe he goes by two names. So yeah, they were confused. They were confused. Now I wasn't saying for Terrence to verify anything that I said. I was saying Terrence could tell you some bad stories about me. Some stuff that I do, you know, because I spent a lot of time around Terrence. And I'm sure Terrence know them habits that I have that are annoying. You know what I'm saying? He knows them habits that I have that are annoying. And so yeah, he could probably tell you. I was saying all of that to say I'm not, you know, flawless in all of this stuff. Was it Mitch Galvin who was interrogating me? No, it was a lady from corporate. A lady from corporate. They scheduled an appointment with me and everything. Like, I was at my desk and they called and they was like, "Are you available to talk?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they was like, "Well, we want to schedule an appointment with you." And I think they scheduled like a whole hour. Like, you know, we're gonna call you at this time, and then this person is gonna be on the line, and this person is gonna be on the line, and that person is gonna be on the line, and it was like a whole conference, a corporate conference call. But the person who was doing the talking, and it wasn't what's her name, Sundria? It wasn't Sundria. It was a different corporate lawyer who was talking to. Like, for real, y'all, I talked to a corporate lawyer about this stuff. It wasn't just, it was crazy. The whole thing was crazy. But no, it wasn't Mitch. It wasn't Mitch. I'm trying to think, was Mitch? Mitch might have been the GM at the time. So he would have been in the meeting where I couldn't stop laughing and somebody was upset because their money was looking funny. But no, he wasn't the one interrogating me. Mitch always seemed to be uh somewhat supportive. Like, Mitch was never, you know, like, Emmanuel, you know, you're doing wrong and this and this and that. It wasn't, that was never from with me. Now I don't know what was maybe said behind my back or whatever, but no, he was never anti me, not to me. Uh, Mayo said I loved White Wednesday on Nate's show. That was fun. That was fun. Y'all, I got to get ready to get out of here. I got to get ready to get out of here. Stuff goes left when white and black have issues. Yeah, sometimes. Uh, was John Schlagetter one of the ones who called corporate saying you don't allow pink people on the air because you ripped him to shreds that day on the Bad Boys? I did not. I never ripped John Schlagetter to shreds on air. I never did that on air. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Um, but no, I don't think he was one of the ones calling. I don't think he was one of the ones calling. Tara said, "I've seen you get on Lincoln's nerves quite a few times." Oh, hold on. Were you there when he burst the eye? When he burst the eye vessel or whatever, the blood vessel in his eye? He was so mad, and that wasn't really my fault. Just for the record, that wasn't really my fault. But I don't remember if you were there. I know Brandon, not Brandon. Yeah, Tatum. Tatum was there. Tatum was there. Okay, Terrace was there. Yeah, I was just always trying to give good advice. Yeah, I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. I don't know how we got on this stuff anyway, but I got nothing but truth. I got nothing but truth. Uh, yes, he was so angry. He was so angry. Uh, uh, he was so angry that day. Uh, you the reason these white people come outside all bruised up. No, not Sister Francis' grandson. Uh, no, his name wasn't Brandon. Sister Francis' grandson. I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name, but I remember him quite clearly, and I liked it. Well, that wasn't. Uh, no, that wasn't him. I can't remember his name, but I liked him. He was a good guy. He was a good guy. But no, I'm talking about Brandon. And I don't know why I'm called Tatum. Tatum wasn't Tatum's first name Brandon? I'm pretty sure that was his first name. First ever, I believe he's the first ever person that I hired when I was given authority to hire. He was my very first hire. And I think, well, I know he's from Chicago. So I believe he lives, last time I saw, he had person, a person, he had a job. He was starting a new show at a radio station that serves the Chicago area. So yeah, he's in Chicago and he's doing great. Last I heard, so I'm happy for him. Another one of them people that I do my best. He actually called me not too long ago. I don't know, did he call me or did he text me? Either way, he could reached out to me and asked me some stuff about live streaming, and I was more than happy to help him. More than happy to help him. So yeah, and thank you, Terrence. Yeah, Brandon. The Twitch person just got here. The Twitch person been here. They've been here. Um, should we call Tuesday show Truth Tuesday with Emmanuel? Every day is a truth day for me. I always tell the truth. Sometimes y'all just ask questions and it sparks a conversation. And if I recall, this conversation all sparked from the chick, the young lady, at Chipotle, who was had on the kit that I guess they pass out to all of the young ladies, and I was saying that older people don't always offer good advice or reach out to help the younger people, and that somehow evolved into all of this. And I wish that wasn't the case. I wish that people really would just kind of as Tropicana put it, teach and mentor young people to help them to get where they are, and even then, if necessary, lift them up to help them get higher. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. It's like 6:30. Why do y'all do this to me? Why do y'all do this to me? It's like 6:30. I got to get out of here, and y'all keep holding me down. Like, man, holding me down. I appreciate all of y'all hanging out with me. Um, taking some time to listen. Uh, I was saying some of this to say, because I want to end it on a good note, because I feel like some of it sound like I was being negative, but I'm really not. I have no negative feelings towards stuff. Um, but I would just say take it easy on the radio station. They're doing the best that they can with the resources that they have. And when I say that, I'm talking about the people there. And I'm name names because I don't mind naming names. Lincoln, Raven, Terrence, Chad. They are doing the best that they can with the resources that they have. And now, I'm not sure, Terrence might not remember, but we know that they have the ability to offer them more resources. We saw it when Fan was there. Fan was they switched one of the stations from a black music format to a sports talk format. And when they switched the station to a sports talk format, they hired a whole staff. They had their own production people. They had their own call screener. They had their own everything. Like they had all the resources. So it's not like they don't know how to do it. They know how to do it. They just won't give those resources to the buzz to lift the standard there, to do the great things that those people that I mentioned, Terrence, Chad, Raven, Lincoln, they're very, very much capable of doing better. They just don't give them the resources that they need to do better. So, when y'all be like giving them a hard time about this and giving them a hard time about that, to some degree, they're working miracles with the resources that they have. And that's why I was always bothered by people kind of bashing the staff and all of that kind of stuff. Because I'm like, y'all don't know what, and this is when I was there, y'all don't know what we working with. And the fact that y'all here and hearing all of this stuff and doing is almost miraculous. So don't give them too hard of a time. Because some of it is, but some of it ain't their fault. They doing the best they can with the resources that they were given. And again, they know how to do it. They know how to do it. I watched them with my own eyes. And I was like, they got a whole effing team of people over there. They got a whole team. Terrence, you don't know how frustrated and irritated and angry I was when the Fan was there. Because the Fan was doing the same thing we were doing. But they had a whole team. When I'm sitting in the booth and it's me and Lincoln. And I'm doing everything. And Lincoln is doing it. And then I look out the glass at the booth next to me. And it is seven people in there doing the job that me and Lincoln are doing. I just counted them up in my head because I had to think of each person. 7 people in that booth doing the job that me and Lincoln are doing over here in this booth, but because they white, they get 7 people, and because we black, we get me and Lincoln. So yeah, cut them a little slack. And Mayosha says, "Wow, that's crazy." Mayosha, trust me, I'm not exaggerating. Blade, I see you, but if I answer the phone, then the audio gonna be gone. And Terrence, I'm not asking Terrence to put himself out there, but trust me, what I'm saying, I'm not exaggerating. It is 100% true. And when you tell two people to do the job of seven people, and then be like, "Well, why didn't y'all do it as good as they did?" And you're like, "No, we're actually doing it better than they are, and they got seven people. Maybe if y'all give us two of their people, then we'll be amazing." They basically had their own audio, I mean, their own station engineer. Because trust me, if something went wrong on the buzz and something went wrong on the fan, the engineer was going to handle the fan first. Because he was a fan of the fan. he was a fan of the fan. They was going to handle that. They did celebrations and everything. Like, oh, so and so is coming. Pat Barry. Pat Barry's, he got hired. We're having a breakfast banquet in honor of Pat Barry getting hired. And I was like, y'all having a what? Hold on, y'all having a what? Y'all having a breakfast banquet in honor of Pat Barry? What? And people, y'all not gonna believe this. But I was like, where's the breakfast banquet in honor of Lincoln Ware? Why are we celebrating Pat Barry? Ain't got nothing against Pat Barry, but you got a legend right here. Had a whole meeting about it. Me. That was Doug. Wasn't his name Doug, the general manager at the time? Doug, the guy, he didn't know anything. Doug, HR. I had to tell him, like, look, y'all gonna stop doing this stuff. I'm not blind. I can see what's going on. Oh, Pat Barry's a legend. Lincoln Ware is a legend. So you're gonna celebrate that, oh, we got Pat Barry, but y'all ain't celebrating Lincoln Ware. Y'all won't even give us the help to help Lincoln shine. Why are we having a celebration for Pat Barry? Why are we having a celebration for Pat Barry? Because he's what? Well, he's well known. No, because he's what? Well, I mean, because he's what? We're having a celebration for Pat Barry because he's white. Well, race has nothing to do. No, I'm not stupid. For real, this is the conversation I had with him in the meeting. I'm not stupid. I see what's happening. They get extra resources because they're white and they want to serve a white audience. They got TVs hanging all over the place in the studio. What did they have? Like 8 TVs in the studio? We had one and it didn't work. I told them they got 8. We got one and it don't work. And y'all gonna act like I can't see that this is because they're white serving a white audience? No, y'all need to start treating us somewhat equal. I promise I had that whole conversation with him in the office. And the HR lady was a black lady, Tammy. And the whole time she was sitting there kind of straight faced throughout the meeting where they kept trying to act like what they was doing wasn't what they was doing. And I remember when I left the meeting, she was like, "You right." And I'm glad somebody had the nerve to tell them. I'm not going to, please. Y'all not going to do us like this and pretend like y'all not. Or at least I'm not going to pretend like y'all not. That's right. They got new mics. They got new mics, new stands, new equipment for when they go out on remotes. Y'all don't, a lot of the stuff people don't know and people don't talk about it and people don't say it. And then we give our our people such a hard time. Like, oh, when so and so go out on remotes, they don't have these problems, and when so and so go out on remotes, they don't have these problems. Well, when they go out on remotes, they have these problems because they don't want to give them the resources. They don't want to send a team of people with the engineer used to go out. The station engineer used to go out on remotes with the fan to make sure nothing went wrong. We got Lincoln setting up his own remote stuff. And then all this went out. Oh, see, that's the buzz. That's the buzz for you. Yeah, it kind of is, but it's not Lincoln's fault. Lincoln should just show up, sit his ass down, and do his thing. Nah, he got to make sure the line, oh, this ain't this, and get guests and all of that kind of stuff. So I want y'all to take it a little easy on the buzz. They don't have all the resources that they should have, and so what they doing is pretty good with what they doing. Terrence says Pat Berry tried to get me fired. That's not funny, but I believe it 100%. Why people always trying to get people fired? No way we could call 700 the way White Lion, Craig, etc. calls the buzz. Pat Berry tried to get his buddy to buy 100.3 to make it a white station. They had every intention on that being a white station. They had every intention on that station being a white station. A station owned by white people that served white people. All right, y'all got to get out of here. I really do. Because I get to thinking about something else that people just don't know, that y'all don't know about. And, y'all know one of my pet peeves, one of my pet peeves is the way people do black people, the way some black people do black people, but they don't do the same thing to white people. Like I was with a guy, I promise I'm going, this is super quick. I was with a guy and we went to a restaurant and they had run out of something that he wanted, which wasn't like a staple of their menu. It was, an item on the menu, but it wasn't like, hey, you go there for that. And he was complaining like you wouldn't, but black people always running out of this and this and this and this and that. And, just going on. And that's what's wrong with black people. We went to KFC and they had run out of chicken. He didn't complain not once. I said, the Kentucky Fried Chicken place is out of chicken. And you ain't say a damn thing. But when the black restaurant up the street ran out of carrot something or another, oh, that's how black people are. Black people need to learn this and black people need to learn that. The chicken place ran out of chicken. But you'll be back here tomorrow with no complaints. But you ain't never going back to the black place because they ran out of something. So I don't like it when people do that. And, sometimes I see that happens with the buzz. I don't want that to be the case. All right, y'all. Got to get out of here. Again, I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Don't hurt nobody. And as always, be the reason that somebody smiles today. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.